Advice. By the way, can more people like that please write in? Advice. Hey, Bill, love your podcast, bro. Been a fan for years through your stand-ups and movies, etc. I have an issue, Bill. I myself am black and am dating a white woman. Oh, Jesus, why would you do that? Who has an interracial child. Parentheses, not a problem. Okay, the problem is the way her kid behaves. Okay, the problem is the way her kid behaves. I was brought up in the whoop your kid era that we as a society have forgotten. Yeah, I don't think you want to do that. You don't do that. The kid is 4 and seems to get away with murder, talking back, acting out, the whole nine, you know. I really like this woman, but she seems to get upset when I mention anything about her kid's behavior, like it's normal. I wasn't brought up that way, so his behavior bothers me. Just thinking about his behavior is bothering me too. So should I stick it out and just deal with it, or should I say fuck that and move on? Thanks for listening and stay funny. Hope I hear this on your podcast, you ginger bastard. I say you say fuck it and move on. Because if I think you really had feelings for this woman, that would have come up. And you would have said, you know, I really like this person. I love her. I'm really into her. This is just something that I'm just worried is going to be. You didn't say any of that. You're just like, yeah, I'm dating this white broad. She's got an interracial kid. Not a problem, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but as far as if you do decide to stick around, okay, you don't need to hit kids. You should never hit kids. That's not a good way to do it. You just have to remember the kid's 4 and can't reach the food. So you have all the power. All right? I'm not saying starve him either. I'm just using that as an example that you are totally controlling the environment. But if you're dealing with this woman who you know, sounds like you're having a good time banging her, but I don't see like you're into her. But if it moves on to another level, then at the very least, the kid has to respect you. And you can do that without raising your voice. You can do that without inflicting pain. You can do it without starving them. But you just don't tolerate it. Like, you know, when they start whining and crying, you don't even address it. Let them have that little hissy fit, flip out, and then whatever they hissy fitting and flipping out about, you still don't give them. And then just say to them, like, why would I give you whatever the hell you I want an ice cream. Why would I give you ice cream after you just behave like that? Because I want it. Yeah. Yeah, you're never going to get ice cream when you behave like that. And that's how it is. Now, you can go deal with that now and go flip out and throw yourself on the couch. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You're not strong enough to open the fridge, so you're not getting it until you behave the way you need to be behaving. So that's what I do if you stick around. But, I mean, just the way you wrote about her, I would move on. All right, masturbating or cheating. Hey, Bill Burrington. Burlington Raincoat Factory. Burlington Coat Factory. I got it. Oh, Burlington. You did have the L in there. I couldn't see it. Hey, Billy Burlington Coat Factory. Raincoat Factory. For your love of raincoats over umbrellas. Oh, I love a raincoat. I live in Florida, and to me, a man who uses either is a little limp-wristed. Oh, yeah? You got those steel balls hanging off the back of your truck. But that is an old-school guy thing, that if you actually dress for the weather, that makes you a pussy. You always have to act like it's a nice spring day. But moving on to ask your advice. I've been with my fiance for 8 years now, and even before dating, I had become bored with regularly watching porn online, masturbation. So one day, 10 years ago, I discovered online dating sites, oh boy, and started to talk to women I met online, on the phone. Sorry. And it would eventually, what the hell is it? Led to phone sex. Ever since then, masturbating by myself is uninteresting and unfulfilling. I've continued this practice since being exclusive with my current fiance and was wondering if it's considered cheating. That's always an easy question. If you told her you were doing this, how would she react? I never used my real name and haven't updated my pics since initially signing up 10 years ago, and never met any of the women offline. I use them for phone sex as long as possible, and then when they want to move things further along, I stop speaking to them. I've never cheated on any previous girlfriends in my life and was wondering your thoughts on this. Thanks in advance. P.S. I love the podcast, and go fuck yourself. Yeah, talk to a therapist. Talk to a therapist. One of the problems that is developed in this age of technology is, you're addicted to phone sex. And I had like a porn addiction that I finally realized, hey, I'm fucking doing this all the time. This is how you know you're addicted to porn. If you try to jerk off with just your thoughts and you can't make it happen, you got a fucking problem that needs to be addressed. So I would talk to a professional and just say you have a problem, and I would nip this in the bud. Is that how you say it? I always forget, butt or bud. Nip it in the bud and just fucking handle this shit before you get married. Because living a life like that is going to wear on you, and you're going to feel like a piece of shit. So I wouldn't do that. I mean, how would you like it if she was doing that? Would you consider that not cheating? Of course you would. What you're doing is wrong. So I would go to a therapist and talk to them, and they will fucking help it out. And you don't need to be embarrassed. They have heard every fucking thing in the world. And what you have here is like a misdemeanor compared to what the fuck they hear every goddamn day. And they'll help you through it, and you'll be back to being a really sort of a normal person. Because this whole fucking thing, jerking off using technology, is if you really think about it, goes against the laws of nature, because it did not exist for 99% of the time that human beings have been on Earth. And I feel like we are all the lab rats of it right now. And I feel like in the future, people are going to be way more careful about what they watch, way more careful about everything, and way more like monitoring it. We're back in the day, you had a bottle of scotch in the bottom fucking desk drawer. I was Mary Tyler Moore. She'd come in, oh, Mr. Grant. She'd be all upset, and he'd fucking pour her a drink. He did that today. That'd be the end of your fucking career. So, this shit is just sort of like, when cocaine first came out, doctors said it was no more addicting than caffeine, and then a bunch of people ruined their lives over it. So don't ruin your life over this. You got a great person that you want to marry. You owe it to them and yourself. Go to a therapist, work it out, and I think you'll be fine. All right, advice on divorced parents. Dear Billy, Nia's box breaker. Oh, Jesus. Love your comedy and hope things are well with Nia and the kids. I have a problem I could use some advice with. My father divorced my mother after 18 years of marriage. I was 9 years old. I'm 23 now. My father told us he left her for the way she approached parenting. So she'd yell when trying to get us to do something, and other examples I won't get into. My mother believes my father cheated on her and left. This might be true since he entered a relationship immediately after filing for divorce. Yeah, that's usually a red flag. But I honestly don't know. Since then, I've built great relationships with both and love them very much. Here's my problem. During the divorce, my father claims my mother took a substantial amount of ammunition and ammunition loading components. He manufactures his own ammos out of spent casings, which are valued very highly, especially now during the pandemic. My father always mentioned wanting to get it all back. I'd like to see it returned since both my father and I are avid shooters, and it's something we've bonded over. While I never seen this stuff at my mother's place after she sold the original house, I wouldn't put it past her to have taken it. I just don't know how to bring it up to my mother without starting any problems or causing any drama. During the divorce, things got very heated with both parents filing restraining orders on each other. At one point, first my dad wasn't allowed to see my sister and I for 3 months, and my mother wasn't allowed to see us for a month. Any advice you can give me on how to approach this would be greatly appreciated. All right, dude, I would stay out of it. I'd stay out of it. I mean, if that's how the divorce went down and you're talking ammunition and guns, I would fucking stay out of that. That is an easy one. Just stay out of it. Just listen to your dad. Yep, that sucks. Maybe someday, she'll come around. But do not insert yourself in. It's not your fault that they got divorced. It's not your fault that they handled the divorce the way they did. It's not your fault your mother did or didn't take the shit. You're not a gumshoe. It's not your job, dude. Don't be taking on other people's fucking problems, even if they're your parents. Let them work that shit out. And considering they're very volatile people, this whole fucking things with guns and ammos and shit, I would just leave it alone. That's what I would do. All right, Rhythms of Comedy. What's up? What's up, Pinky? I like that because that works in an obvious way. And then also, I'm a liberal lefty, so you might think I'm a commie. I like all of that. What's up, Pinky? That's hilarious. This clip of Mark Norman's stand-up to a drummer is bananas. Yeah, I love when people are able to do that. I also love Mark Norman. He's amazing. I just want you to know, what you think of it. I'm a recent fan of the show and laugh hard every episode. Go fuck yourself. I guess that's what cool kids say. I'll tell you something else. There's a comedian out there, Greg Hahn, who's fucking unbelievable. And then I watched him on the Bob and Tom show playing drums. He's a fucking beast. There's a lot of comedians that play drums. Greg Hahn is fucking right up there, man. He was crushing it. All right, that is it. That is the podcast. I'll let you know on Thursday how my second shot of Pfizer goes. I'll talk to you.